Hey, it's Brian, and I'm here at Atlas Oceanic Sound and Picture. This is where we sound mix the film, and we're going to talk about Une Libération post-production, and I got Jamie Cobb, my awesome editor. And I remember when we started to work on the film, we actually met before we even shot anything, and the first thing you said was kind of creepy. You wanted to get inside my head. What was that about?
That's my process. It's actually, I want to get your voice in my head, is kind of what it is. If
Terrifying
that's
for you.
less weird. And it's a process, but questions I asked from the beginning.
I remember we talked about, I had you watch Alien, and I had you watch The Third Man.
Yes.
Third Man is kind of the spy film, and Alien, it's like she's walking around dark corridors looking for a monster. In this case, it's Nazis instead of monsters. We shot the whole thing, and it was kind of this weird moment for me because I'm used to editing and I keep the drive, but suddenly I just hand this thing over to you. What's your first step? What do you?
It was a very cool thing that I've always wanted to do was just review the dailies with the director, which I've never done.
Really?
Yeah, there's an important part where I need to bond with the footage, but on this one, I bonded with the footage through another step of getting your voice in my head.
Yeah, because we just sat down at your place and
yeah,
watched
but
it.
it was actually nice knowing your feedback and thoughts on the footage while I was getting to know it.
Yeah, and it was fun to discuss it too, actually, so we actually could kind of see
Yeah.
some ideas about where you might want to go.
Exactly.
Is that when the Crazy Notebook started?
Yes.
Can we show the Crazy Notebook? Jamie's got
Oh,
this
man.
amazing notes process. I would start talking and giving feedback of what's going on in the show, and then these notes would appear that are just like really copious and very detailed, and everything I said was transcribed, and we won't zoom in, you don't need to.
I have the handwriting of a 4-year-old boy, but I can decipher it, so that's all that matters. But I could, with like each take, and I had your thoughts on it. I actually remember on the first pass, I tried to sneak one in that I knew that how you felt different, and you caught it.
Did I?
In the second pass, it did change. I was just
Nice.
like, everything deserves its
I
day.
feel good about myself. I'm consistent.
No,
At least I'm
you're-
consistent.
Yes, exactly.
You know, one of the cool things about being on the set is we had Angela as our script supervisor, who was amazing, and it was great having her on set. How did her notes help you on this film? Because I don't think either one of us had ever really used script supervisor notes properly.
I've never had script notes.
Okay.
And while I was cutting, I could go back and use it as a resource.
Right.
You would have your circle takes, but if you said something
Oh, God,
extra
that's right.
special.
There was one take.
There was one take, and she noted it, and it's hysterical. So we started referring to it as the Jesus that was good take.
Yeah, it was the
And
Jesus that was good take.
And
The
it
take of
really
Marion.
was.
Yeah, it was.
really,
it was
really
Marion
was.
on camera. And it was Jesus that was good.
But yeah, Angela was great.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, what happened on set doesn't. It's like what's on the screen that matters the most. But it's always great to have that.
It's always to have that initial reference of how you
Absolutely.
felt and looked at it in the moment, like that gut reaction that you get, that hopefully the audience gets the first time they see it.
Yeah.
I gave you my notes. It was recorded and everything was transcribed. What is your process before you bring the director back in once you've done the editor's cut?
Well, I have a love-hate relationship with the rough cut because it's just a process of tons of decisions.
Yeah.
But once it's up on its feet, then we have something to discuss more in depth. Like before the rough cut, it's kind of just like ideas and themes.
It's a lot of theory.
Impression, exactly. But you don't know what it's like until you can actually see it on its feet. So, like, I love a juicy dialogue scene. And,
Which we have.
And this...
We have
I was
one.
like, yes.
Yes.
So I think that's where I kind of fell into it. But that's what I love about the story is it kind of keeps progressing and changing. So there's
Right.
a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and each time the story changed, I couldn't do what I was doing in the dialogue scene for the
Right.
So
Now going from the dialogue scene to the fight scene, we shot 2 cameras.
yes.
We shot about 80 total, so 40 setups from the 2 cameras. It's a lot of footage to go through. We didn't watch dailies for the fight scene.
No, we didn't.
I kind of told you what I wanted it to be, and I said, go through the action.
It can be overwhelming, so I had to take it one shot at a time and actually one beat at a time.
Right.
I actually had my A cam and my B cam sunk.
Yep.
So and actually had a picture-in-picture, so I could be watching both at the same time.
remember.
I'm a visual girl, so it helps me to be able to see it. And when it's like back to back, it's easier for me to see the differences and which moment pops more and all that good stuff. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I was really just breaking the footage down, taking it beat by beat, and exploring the footage.
We cut the whole film. We got to go to Light Iron, which is this amazing post-production facility that's done like Girl with the Dragon Tattoo and the new Muppet movies, and sitting in the room, and we had the final sound mix at that point.
That was really cool. I got to come in for like the last pass
Yeah.
looks, and as cheesy and dumb as it sounds, I got to see it for the first time.
Nice.
And it was I'll never forget that. It was a really cool experience.
Cool. Well, I was fun having you not only at the color correcting session, but also at the sound mix. And you kind of did the same thing both times, where you kind of came in, and I had been working with the colorist or with DJ on the sound mixing, and you had my voice in your head, and you could remind me, no, I think what you're going for is this, and you kind of were a good backup.
That's the beauty of the director-editor relationship, I think, because like on the rough cut, I get too far into it, and then you get to come and like save me and pull me back out, and it's nice to pass the ball of objectivity back and forth.
I think all films, when you start with the writer, when I start with Marion and the script, going through the actors, and then to you in post-production, it's all about this kind of running conversation. And it's nice to have that kind of continue. And it finally kind of comes to a close, and the last bit of that conversation is with the audience, and they get to tell us what they think. So looking forward to seeing what you think about our film.